Have you ever, climbed all the way up to the very top of the biggest slide at your favorite playground?
Oh man, yeah, that feeling of just towering over everything.
Exactly. You sit down, you look at the ground way down below, and right before you push off, you get that sudden thought.
The what if moment.
Yes, the what if. Have you ever wished that the slide would take you somewhere magical? Not just, down to the regular wood chips or the sand, but to a completely different world.
It is such a brilliant feeling, isn't it? That split second right before gravity takes over. I mean, your brain knows you are just at the park, but your imagination starts asking all these huge questions.
Well, okay, let's unpack this. Today, our deep dive is a very special adventure that asks exactly that question.
Ooh, I love this one.
Right. We are exploring a story called The Secret Zoo Beneath the Slide. But our mission today isn't just to listen to a fun story.
No, we have real work to do.
We do. We're going to use this adventure to uncover the 3 steps to thinking like a detective. And we're going to learn how to be super detectives by using our eyes and our ears.
That is the perfect way to look at it. Because, being a detective is really just a way of thinking. It's about how you look at the world around you.
Paying attention to the little details.
Exactly. Through this story, we're going to learn how to gather clues, how to eliminate wrong answers, and how you, yes, you listening right now, can solve mysteries in your own life just by changing the way you pay attention.
So let's jump right in. Our story starts on a beautiful, bright afternoon at a place called Rainbow Park.
A classic playground setting.
It really is. And we have these 3 best friends. There's Mila, Jaden, and Zoe. Now, Mila is the brave one. She climbs right up the ladder to the giant, twisty slide.
Oh, I know the type. One of those enormous metal tubes that looks like a giant spiral noodle.
That's the one. You can't even see the bottom from the top. So Mila pushes off. Swoosh. She goes spinning down the dark, twists and turns.
Down, down, down.
But when she pops out at the bottom, she doesn't hit the sandbox. She lands with this massive soft bounce on a giant pile of golden hay.
Wait, hey, that's definitely not standard playground material.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Now, I have to stop right here because hay is actually a fantastic shock absorber.
Oh, absolutely. Farmers use it for a reason, right?
Yeah. The dry stalks of grass, they trap these little pockets of air. So when you fall on it, the air squishes out slowly and it cushions your fall.
It's basically nature's version of a giant foam pit. But landing in a hay bale is your first huge clue that you are no longer at Rainbow Park.
Right. So Mila calls up the tube like, guys. And Jaden and Zoe are still at the top and they can't see her at all.
But they don't just run off to the swings, do they?
Nope, they're loyal friends. They jump in right after her. Swoosh thump, swoosh thump. Yeah. They land in the hay right next to Mila.
And what do they see?
Well, they brush themselves off, look around, and realize they are standing in a massive, secret, underground world, hidden entirely beneath the playground.
Wow. So the playground above is just the roof.
Exactly. It's like the twisty slide was a magical elevator that transported them from the normal world straight into a cartoon. I love that. And what they find underneath completely breaks all the rules of what they expect to see.
Oh, totally. They are in these wide, cavernous tunnels, but it isn't dark down there. The walls are covered in glowing vines.
Oh, bioluminescence.
Yes, glowing flowers. They create their own light, kind of like fireflies do, illuminating the path with a soft green glow. And there are these tiny, sparkling waterfalls trickling down the rock walls.
Sounds beautiful.
It is. But everywhere they look, there are animals. And they aren't doing normal animal things.
Okay, what's fascinating here is how the story plays with our expectations. What kind of animals are we talking about?
Well, it's wild. They see a towering giraffe, but this giraffe is wearing a pair of wire-rimmed reading glasses, and it's carefully turning the pages of a thick book.
A reading giraffe. That's fantastic.
Yeah. And down another path, a monkey is walking on 2 legs, pushing a bright red wheelbarrow completely overflowing with bananas.
Oh my goodness.
And then, it gets better, a penguin zooms right past their toes, wearing 8-wheel roller skates, carrying a leather bag full of mail.
Now, why does that make us smile? I mean, it's because it mixes something we know perfectly well, a penguin, with a human behavior.
Delivering the mail on skates.
Exactly. It plays with our mental models. We know penguins slide on their bellies on the ice because they have very little friction.
Right, they're built for slipping around.
But strapping roller skates onto a penguin's webbed feet to reduce friction on a hard dirt floor. It is a brilliant, funny solution that just challenges what we expect.
I would probably be staring with my mouth wide open. And Zoe, one of the kids, whispers, "This is amazing."
I'd be right there with her.
But just as they start to really explore, they meet someone. It is a lion.
Oh, A lion.
Well, he isn't roaring, and he isn't scary. He is actually wearing a crisp green zookeeper's hat. He smiles warmly and says, "Welcome to the hidden playground zoo. My name is Leo the lion."
Okay, phew. It really feels like the ultimate safe haven, like a place where kids and reading drafts can just exist together peacefully.
It seems like the perfect happy playground. But right in the middle of Leo the lion saying hello, an incredibly loud sound echoes off the rock walls. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh no, alarm.
A massive alarm bell. And this brings us to step one of thinking like a detective.
Step one, overcome the panic.
Right. Because when an alarm rings, our bodies do something very specific, don't they?
They absolutely do. The sudden noise triggers our brain to release a chemical called adrenaline.
Your heart beats faster.
Yeah, your muscles tense up. It's the classic fight or flight response.
Yeah.
Alarms are literally designed to make us freeze or run away.
But a true detective doesn't freeze, and they don't run.
Nope. They stop, they take a deep breath, and they observe.
So Leo the lion gasps and says, "Oh dear, one of our animals is missing. A baby elephant named Peanut has wandered off."
Baby elephant.
Yeah. Now, the kids don't run away. Mila, Jaden, and Zoe immediately step forward and volunteer to help Leo find Peanut.
That is so brave.
It is. But so, what does this all mean? I have to ask, how can 3 regular kids possibly help a grown lion find a giant baby elephant? Shouldn't they just leave it to the zookeepers?
That's a fair question. But this is where we see the core lesson of teamwork and cooperation.
Teamwork, right.
Even though the kids are small, by working together and offering to help, they become a really powerful team. And this is where you, the listener, have a massive advantage over adults when it comes to solving mysteries.
Wait, really? How so?
Well, you might think, how can kids help a grown lion? But because you are closer to the ground, your eyes are right where the physical clues usually are.
Oh, wow. I never thought of that.
Yeah. You see the world from an angle that adults or, tall lions literally walk right over and miss. Have you ever helped a friend find something they dropped? You probably spotted it right away.
That makes so much sense. Being closer to the ground isn't a weakness, it's a detective's greatest asset.
Oh.
So the team is formed, and they need a smart strategy. To find a missing elephant, you can't just run around guessing. You can't just run through the tunnels yelling, "Peanut."
No, that wastes energy. You need step 2.
Step 2, gather your data.
You always start at the last known location of whatever is missing.
So Leo the lion takes them to where Peanut was last seen, and he points at the ground. There is a trail of big, muddy footprints.
Ah, perfect.
Zoe crouches down and says, "The footprints are huge." Mila points and says, "And they only go in one direction." And Jaden nods, "We can follow them."
Let's talk about the mechanics of a footprint for a second, because mud is actually an incredible data recorder.
Like a memory chip for the ground.
Exactly like that. Mud is soft, so when something steps in it, their weight pushes the mud out of the way.
Leaving an impression.
Right. By looking at how deep the footprint is, a tracker can tell how heavy the animal is. By looking at the size of the print, they can guess the size of the animal. And by measuring the distance between the prints, the stride length, they can even tell how fast the animal was moving.
That is brilliant. So these footprints are huge and deep. The kids start following the trail, and they start finding more data.
Gathering clues.
Yep. It's like a trail of breadcrumbs in a scavenger hunt where every item is a piece of a puzzle. Along the path, they spot a handful of peanuts scattered in the dirt.
Okay, peanuts.
A little further down, they find a large puddle of splashed water on the cavern floor.
Water, got it.
And right next to the water, a pile of freshly chewed green leaves. So Mila looks at all 4 things. The huge prints, the peanuts, the water, and the leaves. And she says, "Peanut was here recently."
She has successfully gathered the data. Now she needs to apply step 3.
Step 3, deduction. Or, as I like to call it, playing the game of Guess Who.
Oh, I love that analogy. Explain how that works.
Well, think about the board game, Guess Who? You have a board full of faces, and every time you get a clue, you flip down the faces that don't match.
Like, does your person have glasses?
Right. And if they say no, you flip down everyone with glasses. We're going to do the exact same thing with the animals in this zoo.
Let's test it out. What if it was the monkey who made this trail?
Okay, well, let's look at the data. Wait a second. There are lots of animals in this zoo. Couldn't splash water and chew leaves belong to the wheelbarrow monkey?
This raises an important question about observation skills and critical thinking. Let's look closely. Monkeys do eat, but they usually eat bananas, right? And we found peanuts.
True.
More importantly, Zoe observed that the footprints were huge. Monkeys have relatively small feet to help them grip branches.
So if we look at our board, we flip down the monkey. It can't be him.
Good deduction.
Yeah.
What about the giraffe we saw reading the book earlier? Giraffes are enormous.
Yeah.
They could leave a big footprint, and they definitely eat green leaves.
I see why you'd guess that, but I'm going to flip the giraffe down too.
Oh, why is that?
Here is why. The peanuts were scattered on the ground. A giraffe has an incredibly long neck, which is great for reaching high branches, but biologically, it is actually very difficult for a giraffe to bend all the way down to the floor.
Oh, that's right.
When they lower their heads, a massive amount of blood rushes down. They actually have special valves in their veins just to keep from fainting.
Wow.
Yeah, so a giraffe wouldn't casually bend all the way down just to pick up a tiny peanut off the dirt floor.
That is a brilliant piece of critical thinking. You use biology to eliminate a suspect.
Exactly. But an elephant, let's look at the mechanics of an elephant's trunk. An elephant's trunk doesn't have any bones in it.
It's all muscle. Right.
Around 100,000 different muscles.
Yeah.
It is so strong it can push over a tree, but so delicate at the very tip that it acts exactly like a human hand.
Oh, so grabbing a peanut is easy.
Super easy. An elephant can reach down, pick up a tiny peanut, and pop it in its mouth.
And we can't forget the splashed water. Elephants use those amazing trunks to suck up water and spray it all over their backs to cool down.
So when we play Guess Who, the huge footprints flip down the small animals. The peanuts on the ground flip down the tall animals who can't reach the floor.
Which leads.
The only animal left standing on our board is a hungry, thirsty baby elephant.
Deduction complete. When you put all the clues together, they perfectly describe Peanut. They've successfully read the story the mud was trying to tell them.
And Leo the lion is incredibly impressed. He tells Mila, "Excellent observation. This brilliant deduction means they are on the right track. The footprints lead them straight out of the glowing tunnels and into a massive, wide-open cavern."
But the mystery isn't quite over yet, is it?
Not quite. There is a catch. The footprints end at the edge of a giant vegetable garden. And I mean giant. The plants are huge.
The trail ends, which means they have to switch from tracking to searching.
The tension is building. The kids spread out. They tiptoe over to a row of massive orange carrots with huge, bushy green tops. They peek behind the green leaves. No elephant. They move over to the pumpkin patch, where these enormous pumpkins are resting on thick, twisty vines. They look inside, over, and around the pumpkins.
Let me guess.
Still no elephant.
They followed every step perfectly. It has to be frustrating not to see him.
But then they stop moving. They just listen. And from the far side of the cavern, they hear a sound. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
A very distinct rhythmic sound.
They all run toward the noise. And there he is, standing right in the middle of a vast field of leafy green cabbages. It's Peanut.
Case closed. They found him.
But here's where it gets really interesting and super funny. Peanut isn't just standing there. This baby elephant is wearing a raggedy straw scarecrow hat right on top of his big head.
A scarecrow hat.
Yes, imagine a baby elephant hiding in a scarecrow hat, and he is happily using his trunk to rip up entire cabbages and shove them into his mouth. Crunch, crunch, crunch.
That is amazing.
The kids just burst out laughing. It completely breaks the tension. They were expecting this scary rescue mission, and instead they find an elephant playing dress-up in a salad bar.
It is a hilarious image, for sure. But it also brings up a fascinating point about the resolution and why Peanut was there in the first place.
Right.
You have to remember, even a baby elephant is huge. And to support a body that size, especially when it is growing, requires a massive amount of energy.
Caloric needs.
Right, exactly. An elephant can eat hundreds of pounds of food in a single day. Their bodies are essentially giant engines that constantly need fuel.
That makes sense.
Peanut didn't wander off because he was trying to be naughty or mischievous. His internal engine just said, "I need fuel right now." And he went to find the biggest source of energy he could, a giant field of cabbages.
So he looks at the kids, flaps his big ears, raises his trunk, and trumpets a happy greeting. Then he just says, "I got hungry." He didn't mean to cause any trouble at all.
He didn't. But this highlights the most important behavioral lesson of the whole adventure. Peanut got hungry, and he solved his own problem by finding food. But because he didn't tell Leo the lion or his friends where he was going, he accidentally created a huge problem for everyone else.
Yeah, the alarm had to ring. Everyone panicked.
Precisely. This is why we have a safety network. This is why if you are at the park and you decide you want to go from the swings over to the sandbox, you always tell the adult you are with.
It's so simple, but so important.
You just say, hey, I'm going to the sandbox. When you share your location, you keep your safety network intact. You prevent the people who care about you from worrying, and you ensure they don't have to become super detectives just to make sure you are safe.
Peanut just needed to say, hey, Leo, my engine is out of fuel. I'm heading to the Cabbage Patch. And none of this would have happened.
Exactly.
But Peanut is a smart elephant. He listens to the kids, and he promises that from now on, he will always tell someone before his stomach leads him on an adventure.
A lesson learned the hard way, but a good lesson nonetheless.
So, with Peanut safe and sound, his tummy completely full of crunchy green cabbages, it is time for our brave kid detectives to head back to the real world.
Mission accomplished.
Leo the lion gives them a warm smile and thanks them for using their clues and paying attention. All the animals they met along the way, the reading giraffe, the wheelbarrow monkey, the roller skating penguin, they all gather around and cheer for Mila, Jaden, and Zoe.
They absolutely earned it. They used the 3 steps. They didn't panic. They gathered their data, and they used deduction.
The kids wave goodbye. They climb back into the dark tunnel of the twisty slide. They hike all the way back up to the surface. And just like that, they are sitting on the familiar rubber floor of Rainbow Park.
Back to the real world.
The sun is shining, the swings are swaying in the breeze, everything is exactly as they left it. But when Mila turns around to look back at the tube of the slide, the hidden entrance is completely gone.
The portal closed. The magic is hidden away again.
Jaden grins and says, I hope we find it again someday. And down below, deep beneath the wood chips and the sand, our story ends with Peanut the baby elephant letting out a massive sneeze, blowing a cloud of green cabbage leaves high into the air. Achoo.
A perfect, messy conclusion to a successful investigation.
So, let's review our main takeaways for today. We didn't just read a story. We learned that using observation skills, following clues, and working together can help you solve even the biggest mysteries.
Yes. Step 1. When something goes wrong or an alarm rings, don't let the adrenaline make you panic. Take a breath and look around.
Step 2, gather your data. Remember that mud can tell you how heavy and how fast someone is moving. Remember that your position, being a bit closer to the ground, gives you the perfect angle to spot the clues everyone else is missing.
And step 3, use deduction. Play guess who with the facts. Think about how things actually work, like an elephant's trunk acting like a hand, to cross off the wrong answers until only the truth is left.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, paying attention to the little things around you makes the whole world feel like an exciting puzzle waiting to be solved.
It really does. Everything becomes a clue if you look closely enough.
So I want to leave you, our listener, with a fun challenge for your imagination. Next time you are at a playground, I want you to look closely at the slide or the sand. What clues can you spot?
Are there tiny tracks from a bird? Deep grooves from a bicycle tire?
Yeah. Look for the things most people walk right past. And if there really was a magical secret animal world hiding right beneath your feet, what kind of animal would you want to meet first?
Well, that's a great question. Maybe a squirrel wearing a chef's hat cooking acorns.
I would love to see that. Keep your eyes open and keep asking questions. You never know where the next slide might take you.